What's up, you guys? It's Rob here. Today we're going to be talking about ticker symbol CLOV, Clover Health Investment Corporation. The stock had a wonderful day of trading. It had a technical breakout in the last quarter of the trading day and has continued the run after that technical breakout. And we got to cover the chart. We'll cover the short interest through Ortex too, because the stock is heavily shorted. May have a little cause and effect relationship going on here between the other heavily shorted stocks. But if you guys can, do me a huge favor, drop a like down on this video, hit that subscribe button, make sure you ring that bell for the YouTube algorithm, because it really does help me out a lot. And I really just want to say, before we dive into this chart, thank you all. Thank you to all my subscribers so much. I would not be here without you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now let's dive into this chart here and take a look at this disgusting chart that is absolutely beautiful. Now, from a TA perspective, this chart is pretty much, in my personal opinion, just about as perfect as that it could get for having a 32% move. We have a double top rejection here around 1040. Yeah, around 1040, and then around noon again. And then we see a third retest here. And the thing that I want to point out is we had a nice pump in volume to get this retest through. And then we traded above this level of resistance for 10 to 15-ish minutes, which is definitely a good sign for the stock, in my personal opinion, because this is what we're doing with technicals. We have rips, we have pullbacks, and then we have consolidation, and then we have retest. So the fact that the stock is following this kind of model when moving 32% is definitely very good for the stock. The other thing that I want to point out here is we have a nice little, in my opinion, it's a very loose head and shoulders pattern around $11. So we had that push through here of 11.20. We consolidated for a little bit and then we fell back, but we found support here at $11. We have one touch point, two touch points, and then three touch points. We have this little breakthrough. So to me, it kind of looks like a little bit of an inverted head and shoulders. It's a little loose, but we had a nice bounce off of $11 here and then continued our rally into the close. The other thing that I want to point out here on the chart, you pull up my rectangles here. So we had a nice period of consolidation really right here during the trading day, which is good for the stock. We want to see periods of consolidation. The fact that we're seeing these periods of consolidation, it shows that the stock is taking time to respect levels of supports and resistance and test them before continuing the move to the upside. And when you're moving 32% in a day, what better that could you ask from a technical analysis perspective? This chart is pretty golden, in my personal opinion. You traded above the VWAP for pretty much 90% of the day. You only had one point where you're really below it here, which means you're in incredibly bullish territory. You're running here in the after hours. You touched 1326 in the after hours and you're trading at about $12.88, up another 8%. Incredibly huge day for Clover Health, in my personal opinion. Now, I want to zoom out here to the year-to-date perspective and take a look at this wedge that I've drawn up. So we had our all-time high back here on the 4th of January of $17.45. Now, I drew up a descending level of resistance here because we have been trading essentially downwards since that time frame. And when I draw these trend lines to the downside or to the upside for ascending levels of support, I want to look for at least three touch points. And we have one touch point here at 1745, one touch point here on the 8th of January. We have another touch point here on the 27th of January. And then here on the 29th of April, we have a touch point. We have a touch point here on the 3rd of June. And then we have today's technical breakout here of the wedge. Now, we broke out of this descending level of resistance, which indicates we are headed in bullish territory. We also respected this ascending level of support from our low here of $6.31 after our all-time high. We have one touch point, two touch points here on the 17th of May, the 18th of May, and then the 19th of May. So the fact that we were trading within this pattern shows that we were essentially consolidating. And what this wedge does is essentially spring loads us and will pop either one way, to the upside or to the downside from a technical analysis perspective. Well, we popped to the upside today, so we have our 15-day moving average hooking in towards our 60-day moving average, which, if we get these two to cross, shows that our past 15 days of momentum have been more bullish than our past 60 days. And then the next thing we have our eyes set on would be the 200 exponential moving average, which is sitting at $9.91. Now, I said we had a technical breakout today, and that technical breakout came from this candle right here. The high of this candle was around $11.77. Today, we closed at $11.92, which confirms that we have that technical breakout. We are also trading at $12.92 in the after hours, which even more shows that we are in incredibly bullish territory and that breakout is true. Now, the thing that I'm going to be looking for headed into tomorrow is a brief period of consolidation around 13-ish dollars because we need to look to the upside to determine where are going to be our levels of resistance here. And we can see that right around 12, I'm going to draw up 1240 here. Back here during February, we have several candles where we bounced off of it and we also were rejected by it as a level support or resistance. So this is a level that I'm going to be looking at. We're trading at 1292. So where's the next point at after that? It's going to be right here around $13 because we have a double, essentially a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple rejection around here around $13.30. After that, we could possibly be seeing $16 and we possibly a retest of the all-time high. The thing that I really want to preface this whole entire video with before we take a look at the short interest is we had 119 million shares traded today. Our average volume is 24 million shares. So if the volume isn't there tomorrow, it may be a little bit difficult kind of thing. So it is a momentum stock, which is a high risk, high reward stock in my personal opinion. Now let's take a look here at the short interest via Ortex. So I said that Clover Health was a heavily shorted stock. Well, its current short interest or free float to be estimated is around 42.64%. To give you an idea, AMC and GameStop are around 10 to 20%. So this is almost double, if not quadruply much as shorted. Quadruply, yes, I just made that word up. But we saw an increase of our short interest change of 3.92%, 1.97 million shares borrowed, a positive borrow change of 1.91 million. Our utilization sitting around 98%. Our cost to borrow is today average of 7.97%, cost to borrow max being 26.5%. Now keep in mind that Ortex, these return shares follow a T+2 time frame. So you have your transaction date plus 2 days for settlement. So we're really taking a look at Thursday's trading day of last week. So we're seeing that on Thursday that there were 1.97 million shares borrowed and we had a borrow change to the positive side of 1.91 million. Now the next thing that I really want to point out, and this is a time frame that I really want to like just hammer in on. We have what's called the on-loan average age, which is measured in the day time frame. And what this is going to indicate is how long ago were these loans taken out roughly. And if we take a look here, we have Friday's day. We're taking a look here at 42.62 days. So if we go back about 42.62-ish days, we're going to be looking at April. So mid-April, let's take a look. Mid to latter part of April, where was Clover trading at? Around $8. Now that is trading at $12 and $13. These short positions are going to start getting underneath the water and are starting to see a lot of red, which possibly could cause them to be, I don't want to say it, or I can say it, margin called, or they might just start to cover. And what we might start seeing is covering, which is going to continue to drive the price up and up and up and up even more. And considering the fact that this stock is 44% short, that is a lot of short interest on the stock, guys. Do not take that lightly. That is a lot of short interest, and there is a lot of shares that could be covered here. 49.8 million shares. The current free float on loan is 43%. Almost half of the free float of Clover is literally given out on short interest loans. That is crazy, guys. Just wrap your head around that. That is a lot of short interest within the stock. It is crazy. And if we see the shorts continue to get underneath more and more water, they're going to eventually have to start covering, or margin will end up calling them and saying, hey, pay more money or start covering kind of thing and selling off your positions. And that would be huge, and it would honestly help us here on the chart start moving more to the upside, in my personal opinion. But it's definitely something that I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be following Ortex here very closely. And personally, in my opinion, we're going to be headed to the upside. We're trading at, we closed the after hours at $12.92. incredibly bullish day for Clover, and I'm excited to see what tomorrow holds for this stock. I cannot wait to dive into it. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.